ChatGPT is changing how customers find plumbers. Today I'm going to show you how to rank at the top of AI search results and what to do about it. So I think this one's a really interesting topic for me. We're very much into it. Overall, I like the changes going on. I'll stop and first say that if I had to have a crystal ball and look into the future 5 years, I'm going to say Google still keeps 60% of it. And I've said this before, but something that's definitely different this time around, and we're already in it now, is that ChatGPT, Grok, Perplexity, these AI search results are fantastic. So back in the day, all the way back to Alta Vista, Ask Jeeves, Yahoo, Bing, it was all really kind of horrible. So the collective, all of us, we all use Google. And today, on the last reports that were out, which I don't know if they're lagging or what, but Google's still 91%. And Google, yes, has launched Gemini. And if you've been watching, now they have AI inside of it. It'll throw that up at the top. You can toggle over one of the tabs and pick AI. And they've recently just put it right next to the search bar. So AI is already in Google. And it's different a little bit, but it's still Google. But I want to talk about all the other stuff and all the other selection that's out there. So let's talk about what your brand is and how to get signaled for this and how to show up. At the end of the day, people still just search for, the algorithm. Like Google's original algorithm would look at the servers and say, oh, here's their website. Has it made changes? And it would judge that kind of stuff. And back in the day, that's kind of all it was. It was your website, and it was inbound links. And so you'd mess with the website, and you'd mess with the inbound links. And a lot of people still do that. You still need some of these items, but that was kind of all it was. And what's changed with Google began to change and bring in other signals, say third-party search signals, and say, oh, here's their Facebook account, here's their YouTube account, and here's other signals coming in. Here's direct search for the brand, and here's reviews they've got. It looks like they've made some changes on the website. I don't hate changes on the website. It's still part of your brand. I do hate some of the stuff because Google hates it, like blogging and stuff and content that nobody in their right mind would ever want to read. So you can do things that are too old school and cause a penalty, but you can ignore too many old school things like the website and misinterpret what they're looking for. They're looking for content changes and things. That is still going to get judged by AI. I'm bringing it up because it's still part of it. Just like Google looked at different metrics on servers and determined your placement of your brand for keywords, AI is doing the same thing. Now, it's very interesting, though, if you're on ChatGPT, for example, because we'll talk about that one, but we're working on other AI optimization as well. But that's most of the search, or more people using ChatGPT. So we'll talk about it just like we do Google, as opposed to mentioning Bing. But people on ChatGPT, that algorithm clearly is spidering the same servers to pick up data. What's interesting, though, is that they're different people up there. So if you'll go into a major market and look up like Plumber in Dallas, Plumber in Houston, Plumber in Phoenix, and run that search, or in Raleigh or Waco or wherever, go start running a major metro and search something like plumbers in Philadelphia, PA, and look at what Google has for the top 4, and then go to ChatGPT and do the same thing. And you'll find a little bit different spread. So it's a different algorithm, and I find it fascinating. One of the things that I see is if there's an old school plumber in town and Google's giving him a lot of creds, which again, let's be honest, still 90% of search on Google, and you want to show up on the mapping there, we definitely optimize that, by the way. That's hardcore, what we've been doing for years, but we've had to and are entering in optimization on AI and ChatGPT. But the reason I bring up searching both of them is that you'll actually find their different results. They might have 2 of the same 4, but 2 might be different. And you'll see Google giving metrics to things like just age, the website's old and needs to be redone, and ChatGPT doesn't care and they don't show it. So it's an opportunity to show up in ranking on some of these platforms. And if you don't show up in ranking here, you're going to begin to get a diminishing return. So if you're new and trying to get up, you want to get up on Google and AI at the same time. And if the code base is well, if you've got a good brand with a multitude of signals out, you're going to show up on both. If you're broken on one, you might actually show up still in Google because of tenure, and ChatGPT might ignore you. All in all, to help you understand this, I'd remind you all the same thing I always do. You are a digital brand. I had a guy call and leave a message, and I feel bad when people look for a lead. I need leads. I've got to have leads. They cost too much. And it's a foul. The leads come from a brand. If you go buy a lead from Yelp or Angie or Home Advisor, or you pay for a click, you're paying for someone else's ability to show up in ranking or them get you a lead when you could have pushed your own brand, which is the majority of search. 70% of people go into Google are going to click on a non-paid item. That's why you want to do this stuff. And currently, I don't know any AI charging, so it's 100% organic. And you do this by having them see the brand signaling of that brand, the website, the content done well, not poorly, also not spammed and not ignored. So done just right, that Goldilocks thing to where it's a good user experience. The signals to Google and AI are great. And then, yes, you can throw in some other third-party SERP signals. What I find interesting about it is that I'll see people ignore the hell out of their website, slamming in as many reviews as they get. So the website's a poor user experience, and they want to show up in mapping, but half the people that go to the map would have gone to the website, so Google doesn't show you because the website's bad. And then they'll go around and like throw money at Facebook or Instagram, which traditionally isn't as good of an ROI, but it would have helped synergize the brand on Google and AI, except it doesn't because the brand's not worthy to be shown. So if I could help you guys understand that the brand is the accumulation of these things, and you basically just need excellence of this to come through and these brand signals without the old school cheating. You don't want to ignore it, and you don't want to spam it. So a lot of guys are out here getting fake addresses, nothing but links out of the country, and it just doesn't deserve to be shown to a human. I'll stop and kind of recap, but talk about that for a minute. If you've been on ChatGPT, you know it's intuitive. The reason people are going to start using AI is because if we go search Google, we can tell it read words on a page or checked a signal. But if you ask a question, it can't communicate on a deep, intuitive level, but AI can. And so that is going to get done. And the other part of that is it's smart. So the days of trying to trick it, fool it, if you've got somebody telling you to go grab phony addresses, we're going to trick them. It's like, oh, do I need to do a new website? Nah, we'll trick them. I mean, essentially the message of an agency is that we're going to trick them. They're not tricking them. Those days are so far gone. Now, they might trick them still temporarily, but you don't want to build this brand on sand or a house of cards. You want to have quality signaling. And I'll also tell you that it is a never-ending thing. Just like I'm here doing a video today talking to you about it for my brand, you need to make sure that you have brand signaling going out all the time too. And I'll pander for a minute here and talk about DataPins. It is our software that we created back in the day because a long time ago, like 8 years ago, I was worried about the nature of content and brand signaling. It was just, we still have to do a page for like toilet repair or something, but it seems ridiculous because nobody wants to read it. So we still do a page for every service, but now you nest in every type of job underneath it. And if you think about the beauty of that is that it's like, yeah, we do tankless water heaters. Here's 100 of them that we've done, validation of work, the parts, the brands that we worked on. Well, that's a great user experience. It's great digital brand signaling for Google or AI or ChatGPT. And as they pick up the signals of your brand, that's what will push you up in ranking. The reason you don't show up now is because of this not being done. Now, you can have a little more tenure and time to help you, but over the scope of time, if you just put up a good brand and begin to signal, it will repay you so much more. And if you've never had what we haven't used this in a while, but the Big Show, and I'll expand the Big Show beyond Google to ChatGPT, you want to be on the Big Show. All of it, you're going to have a healthy brand. You're going to signal properly. You're going to do things like DataPins, have a great website, not cheat, follow basic Google Webmaster Guidelines, and it's going to get picked up by Google, their original algorithm, their AI algorithm, the other AI algorithms, ChatGPT, and you're going to begin to show up everywhere because you deserve to and because it's a great user experience. I don't want to over complicate it for you. We do tons of this work here for you and help guide you in this. And I really try to do a good job about having you understand it, because I ultimately want a good client that understands their digital brand and to wake up each day and say, hey, my marketing and digital brand signaling brings in the calls. I don't know why people don't really take heed to this. I know you end up with a lot of bad marketing companies and you start and stop, but you shouldn't. Once you find somebody good, like Plumbing Webmasters and DataPins, stick with it, send brand signaling, and every day think about it. That'll get you at the top of search results, top of AI. We check it all the time. AI is a closed box, but we go in and check, and our clients do excellent in it, and they're finding it on the same places. You just have to send a myriad of brand signaling now. It's not these one-trick things and this spam that used to happen. And AI is doing it a little different, which is a massive opportunity to get in the door on AI and get up there too. And like I said, you don't want a diminishing return of Google. I think they'll still be the majority, but who wants to go from 91% down to 60 on a slow ride over the next 5 years and not show up on AI? So it's already happening, and we're helping with it. We'd love to hear from you.